All right, so everyone, thank you so much again for joining. Like I said, we're going to be discussing what social enterprises can learn from other companies and organizations to scale more effectively. We'll be discussing the tools, methodologies, and tactics that social enterprises can learn from a for-profit commercial enterprise, which can be used to compete in today's hyper-competitive economic environment and gain growth and funding opportunities.
What
With
what I
oh,
think about that is I think a social focused Kaggle would be a great thing. So if people don't know, Kaggle.com is a website where they have a well defined problem statement for also like as a open question with all the resources and the success metrics defined so that people can solve the problem on the website and submit solutions. So this like encourages even the students, people who are participating, semi-working, to work on this on their own time. And they have rewards, which is not really in comparison with the cost if you try to make the solution in-house, but lucrative enough for people to spend some of their time and hack away for it. But Kaggle has a lot of different. Kaggle at this point is focused by those companies that do not have an in-house data analytics or data science created solutions, and they try and source it out to people who are working all around the world. And even social startups can do the same thing on a socially focused Kaggle where they have an engineering or any other different type of problem to solve or research. They can, with some funding, put a properly well-defined problem and resources on the website.
when it comes to learning um, from organizations for social entrepreneurs or for social organizations, I think there's a lot of similarities in just the structure of the way things happen. So there's a lot that you can. So when you grow, when you start off as a social cause, you first start as an initiative and then you grow that into an organization. And the way that you're really running it is very similar to how any startup would begin. But it's just that your final or the essence that with which you started out was different, because every startup also starts out with the thought of solving a problem. You as a social entrepreneur or as a social organization are also solving a problem. It's just that the way you do it, it's really different. So I think in that sense, the entire process, there's a lot that we can grasp just from that, from the beginning to the end, be it how do you market yourself, how do you what's the most creative way to get yourself out there. Like we discussed earlier, for example, if it's Uber who we have to learn from and how they are still sustaining, or even if it is an Amazon, they made losses in the US for the first 10 years and then they started making profits. They're still not making profits in India today. So it's very important to just kind of try and realize that even though you have or if you are a part of a social nonprofit, you're really going to work around the same way as any company would or any startup would.
Others might think, oh, it's actually getting at the ideology and changing the ideology that's problematic, that's a part of a root of this problem. And that would be, I think, Ashoka's perspective, or at least some employees there. So, or systems, thinking about it at a higher level, at an ecosystem level. So that's one thought for that, in terms of scaling. And if it is scaling reach, then thinking about what methods of scaling, because they are very different. So, just three scaling methods that are usually ways nonprofits tend to scale are, or even for profits, are replication models. So you're basically you're growing your organizational capacity. So you're placing a program or an organization like yours in another region.